Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I'm here again with a new lesson of Arabic grammar. Inshallah, in this lesson, we are going to learn Harf of Nasb fragment. Let's start with prayer. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair wa bika nasta'inu ya fatahu ya fatahu ya fatahu. Allahumma faqihna fid deen. Ameen. Okay, so in today's lesson, inshallah, we are going to learn Inna, Harf of Nasb. Inna is Harf of Nasb, and the fragment it makes is Harf of Nasb. So today's topic is Harf of Nasb fragment. And you know why fragment? Why do we call it fragment? Because it's not a complete sentence. It's and it is not a single word. So it's a combination of words, but it doesn't make complete sense. That's why we call these fragment. Like we learned idafa fragment, in which we learned mudaf, mudaf ilayh, and then we learned harf of jar fragment. Harf of jar fragment, in which there was harf of jar and with an ism, which was in jar status, ism majroor, harf jar and ism majroor. And today we are learning harf of nasb fragment. And what are harf of nasb? Harf of nasb are like inna and its sisters. In Arabic, it's called inna wa in conventional Arabic grammar terms. It's called inna wa akhwatuha. So it's inna and like words in one group. So inna and like words in one group. Why they are in the same group? Because their action is same. In a sentence, their Arabic action, the effect on Arab of the following ism is same. That's why they are grouped together. So in lesson 12, we learned harf of jar fragment, and today harf of nasb. First word in this combination, this is a combination of one harf with an ism. So first word in this combination is a harf, while the second word is a mansoob ism or ism in nasb status. And harf of nasb, inna, and all in its group are amil agents. Agents like in a chemical reaction, when two chemicals combine, they react with each other and produce something. Just like some harf, they act on another word, another ism, and cause it to change. Like harf of jar causes the following ism turn into jar status. The harf of jar makes the following ism majroor. The same way these harf that we are going to study today, they act on the following ism and turn into nasb form. In other words, when an ism follows harf of nasb in a sentence, it immediately changes into nasb status. So an ism that is coming after harf of nasb becomes mansoob in status. The mansoob ism may one thing, the mansoob ism that is in nasb status may come just after harf of nasb or even later in the sentence. So there can be a long distance relationship. And on these are the harf of nasb. These are the harf of nasb, and in conventional Arabic term, it's called this whole group is called inna wa akhwat. Inna and her sisters. You know, all letters, all alphabets, and all letters, all harf in Arabic, they are feminine. So we learned when we learned the gender, because the Arab said so. in that category, that all alphabets and all harf are feminine. So that's why inna واخواتها, inna and her sisters. Harf of Nasb or harf of are specific harf in Arabic that make the following ism that come in the sentence Nasb. So the following ism becomes mansoob or Nasb in status. And what are they? How many are they? There are 7 total, and they are inna, anna, ka anna, bi anna, laita, lakinna, la'alla. So it's advisable that you learn all these letters, just like you learn harf of jar, ba, ta, kaf, lam, wa, min, fi, an, ala, hatta, ila. Just like that, and just like the Muslim chart you learn, the same way, if you learn these, it will be much easier to analyze and to do the Arab of Arabic sentences, inshallah. So these are inna, anna, ka anna, bi anna, laita, lakinna, la'alla. Inna, anna, ka anna, bi anna, laita, lakinna, la'alla. So if you say it again and again, you inshallah, it's not difficult. Inna, anna, ka anna, bi anna. Inna, anna, ka anna, bi anna, laita, lakinna, la'alla. And these are harf in Arabic that have the same Arabi action on their following ism. However, their meanings are different when translated. So it doesn't mean that all these 7 harf of nasb, they have the same meaning. No, they are not same in their meaning. They are grouped together because their action, Arabi action, is the same. Like they all make the following ism nasb. Okay, they change the following ism into nasb status. That's why they are grouped together. Okay, let's learn it with examples. So here are some examples. One ayat, Wallahu Ghafurur Rahim. Wallahu Ghafurur Rahim, and Allah is forgiving, always merciful. This wow and Wallahu Ghafurur Rahim, Allah is forgiving, always merciful. Okay, and this is a simple sentence. You don't see any harf of nasb here, but you see another ayah. Inna Allaha Ghafurur Rahim. Inna Allaha Ghafurur Rahim. Now you see, can you appreciate the difference in the Arab of Allahu Ism Jalala? Like over here, Wallahu. There is Dhamma over here. Wallahu. And as soon as Inna comes in the sentence, this Dhamma turns into a Fatha. Inna Allaha Ghafurur Rahim. And with this Inna and Allah, there's so much emphasis. You can see that as the emphasis in the translation, and that is here. The first sentence meaning is, and Allah. Actually, there should be and over here because wow is here. And Allah is forgiving, always merciful. And then when Inna comes with Allah Ism Jalala in the Nasb status with the Fatha at the end, the translation, now see the translation. Certainly, there's no doubt Allah is forgiving, always merciful. So there's so much emphasis that comes with this this word Inna. And there is an Arabi action also. Arab effect on the Arab also. The Wallahu, Allahu is over here. Let me, yes, over here, Allahu, the Arab here is Rafa. Allahu Ism Jalala is in Rafa status. But here it becomes Nasb in a status. And the ism that is coming just after inna and other harf of nasb, the ism that follows the harf of nasb, this ism is called ismu inna. This ism is called ismu inna. Okay, so okay, next sentence. Innal insana lafi khusrin. Certainly, there's no doubt humans are at loss. So inna, again the same harf of nasb, and then al insana, one ism that is coming after inna in the sentence, and this ism is in nasb status, insana. Okay, so this is ismu inna. Then another sentence, innaha alayhim musadatun. Indeed, it will close in on them from every side. So innaha alayhim musadatun. Innaha. Where is the ism of inna, which is nasb in status? Alayhim. This is ism. No, we need ala is harf jar and him is should be jar in status. But look, inna and then ha. We know that ha is attached pronoun, and this attached pronoun can be in nasb or jar status. So because here it's just coming after inna, so it must be in the nasb status because it's following the harf of nasb. Innaha. Indeed, it will close in on them from every side. In inna, then ha is pronoun and ism, zamir, attached pronoun, zamir muttasil, and this zamir muttasil is in nasb status. And we know attached pronouns are either nasb or jar, depending upon the structure of the sentence. If like ala in alayhim, ala is there, ala harf of jar, so him is in jar status, but over here inna is harf of nasb, so ha that is following inna is nasb in status. Then we have addiku jamilun. The rooster is beautiful. So simple sentence, nothing emphasized here. Then no nothing like no, yeah, there is no emphasis in this sentence. Addiku jamilun, the rooster is beautiful. Then inna dika jamilun. Certainly rooster is beautiful. Okay, inna, so with inna there is an emphasis, and in translation there is an emphasis, and when we see the Arab, initially it was addiku, rafa in a status, and now it's a nasb. As soon as inna comes, the ism becomes nasb in status. Then we have this ayah from Surah Ahzab, Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. So certainly Allah and his angels, no doubt, they send salam and salutations upon Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So over here again, inna, then Allah. Allah, isme jalala, again nasb in status with fatha. Okay, so these are the examples from Quran. Not all examples are from Quran, but some are from Quran and some just Arabic sentence. Okay, so let's go to the next page and see what's there. Yes, so now we are going to learn the important points, the principle of harf of nasb fragment. So harf of nasb fragment, let me tell you, this is harf of nasb fragment. Inna Allaha. Inna is harf of nasb. Inna is harf of nasb. Allaha isme jalala. Ismu inna mansoob bil fatha. Okay. Inna harf of nasb. Allah ism jalala mansub bil fatha. Over here, inna harf of nasb. Al insana ismo inna mansub bil fatha. Again, innaha, inna harf of nasb, ha zamir muttasil mansub, mabni mansub. Okay, then again the same way here, inna is harf of nasb, inna harf of nasb, addika ismo inna mansub bil fatha, right? So these are the like, that's how the fragment is described. And inshallah, when we will learn a Jumla Ismiya and its construction, then we will learn more of the concepts of Harf of Nasb and the following khabar also. So Harf of Nasb fragment is a combination of harf with an ism. The Harf of Nasb always comes first, then comes the ism. In a sentence, Harf of Nasb always comes first, then comes the ism. Okay, so and we all harf of nasb, inna and all her sisters, all other harf in the same group are amil harf. Amil harf means agents. They act on their following ism and convert them into nasb form. Whatever their original form was, they convert the following ism into nasb form. In other words, when an ism follows a harf of nasb, and in other words, like if in a sentence there is an ism and it is following a harf of nasb, so it becomes nasb in this status, just like we saw in the examples on the previous page. And this mansub ism may come just after harf of nasb. Okay, yes, this is important point. When we, inshallah, we are going to find harf of nasb and its ism in Quranic ayat. This is important, that the mansub ism, the ism of inna, may come just after harf of nasb or even later in the sentence. So there can be long distance relationships. So we may find harf of nasb at the very start of the sentence, and then it's ismo inna. The ism that is nasb in status can be in the middle of the sentence or even in the later third, the last third of the sentence. So there can be long distance relationships. Okay, and then we, another important, very important point, a sentence starting with inna or with any other harf in this group is a jumla ismiya. If the sentence is starting with inna, then it's a jumla ismiya. Anna, jumla ismiya. Okay. So the ism that follows inna is called the ismu inna, ism of inna. Okay. Another important point, when we read the Quran, we can find both types. Like when harf of nasab, anna, inna, and lakinna, because they have noon shadda at the end. All three have noon shadda at the end. Lakinna, inna, anna. When they combine with pronouns ana and nahnu, and we know the attached form of ana is ni, the nasb version. The nasb version of ana is ni, and the nasb version of nahnu is na. Then these pronouns can be written fully, or noon can also be dropped. Like it can, suppose if inna and ni, these are together in a sentence, it can be written like innani, and it can be written like inni. Innani, noon is there. The second noon is there, but the noon of the ni is there, but it can be dropped. So it becomes inni, like inni wajahtu wajhiya lillazi. So inni, in that inna plus ni, right? Let me write it down. Yes. So inna plus ni. This pen is not in, like, I don't have a sharp control of this pen. Inna plus ni. Then it can be written as inni, innani. If we keep the noon, then it would be like innani. Or it can be written as inni, just inni. This noon drops and then it becomes inni. Okay, so inni. So the same way, bi annana or bi anna are same. Bi annana or innani and inni are same. Bi annana or bi anna are same. The same way lakinnana or lakinna are same. In lakinnana, we have the second noon over here. The second noon is dropped. The first, actually, the first noon is dropped. Lakinna. Okay, so that's the important point for harf of nasb that end in noon shadda. Lakinna, inna, anna. So these three harf of nasb, they end in noon shadda. That's why. That's how they are written. Like in both form, we can see both form in the in an Arabic sentence. Okay, let's go further. Okay, now exercise. Before doing exercise, let's just revise what we learned. We learned that harf of nasb, these are agents. These are inna and other 6 harf in the same group, and they are grouped together because their action is the same. They change the following ism into nasb status, and the sentence that starts with inna is a jumla ismiya, and the ism that follows inna, which is nasb in status, is ism of inna. And there can be a long distance relationship between inna and its ism. Okay, let's see. Identify the harf of nasb and its ism in the nasb status in the following ayat. Inna Allaha, indahu ilmus sa'a. So this sentence is starting with inna. So which is the which is harf of nasb over here? Which one is harf of nasb over here? Inna, right? Inna. And what is ism of inna over here? Inna Allaha. Allah, isme jalala, has fatha. Inda, we know, special mudaf with who, ism majroor. Ilmu is another ism, but it is rafa in status. As-sa'ati looks like it's a mudaf ilayh for ilmu, right? Ilmu, no light, no alif lam, right? And then as-sa'ati is a ism jar status, in jar status. So it looks like it's mudaf ilayh and ilmu is mudaf. So the only ism that we can find which is nasb in status is Allah, isme jalala. So ism of harf of nasb or ismu inna is Allah, ism jalala. Again, inna Allah alimun khabir. Again, inna is the harf of nasb over here. And then we have again, I can see only one ism that is nasb in status. Inna Allah alimun khabirun. Alimun khabirun. Both are rafa in status, and Allah is the only ism. Ism jalala is the only ism that is in nasb status. And then we have annahum. Annahum, they are, they certain, that certainly they are. That they are, anna means that. Inna means certainly, indeed, there's no doubt about it. Inna means when we do translation of inna, indeed, certainly, there's no doubt about it. And anna, when we do translation of anna, it means that they are. Annahum, that they are. Whom we know, they. Whom is attached pronoun for they, right? Annahum, that they are. So, which is the word, harf of nasb over here? Anna. Now, anna. It's not inna. Now it's anna. It's over here. In annahum, it's anna, and ism of anna is whom, the attached pronoun. Okay. Now we have anna fi uzunayhi waqra. Fi uzunayhi waqra. And as though there is deafness in his ears. Literal barrier. As though. Ka'anna means as though. So, though, inna, anna, ka'anna. All three are grouped in harf of nasb, but their translation, their meanings are different. Their action is Arabi action. Like they change the status of ism, but their meaning is different. So ka'anna is as though,